Right now, as we speak, the blueprint for a whole new global economy is being drawn up. But here's the crazy part. It's not being built by governments or central banks. It's being architected by a single company. And its currency, well, it isn't gold or oil. It's pure manufactured intelligence. A new currency is literally being created from scratch. It's not something you can hold in your hand, it isn't minted by a country, and you definitely can't mine it from the earth. No, this currency is being generated inside massive new kinds of factories. And its value is pure intelligence. The idea that one company, not an entire nation, could be defining the money of the future, it sounds like science fiction. So how on earth is this even possible? Well, let's break it all down. To really get our heads around this huge shift, we're going to follow a simple roadmap. First, we're going to peel back the layers and uncover the true identity of the company that's building this new world. Then, we'll step inside their AI factories to see exactly what they're producing. Third, we will decode the currency of this new economy, intelligence itself. After that, we'll zoom out to see the trillion-dollar plan in action. And finally, and this is the most important part, we'll connect all of this back to you and what it means for your place in this new world. Okay. Let's start with the architect. You know, the company actually orchestrating this whole revolution. To truly grasp what's going on, we have to look past the common perception, past the headlines, and understand what the company Nvidia has really become. So when I say the name Nvidia, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most people, it's chip company, right? Maybe you think of graphics cards for gaming or the powerful GPUs that run AI. And you're not wrong, but you're also not really right anymore. You see, calling Nvidia just a chip company today is kind of like calling Henry Ford just a guy who sold engines. It completely misses the big picture. They aren't just selling a single part, they are building the entire system from the ground up. The secret to understanding Nvidia's real power lies in this phrase, platform company. So what does that mean? A platform company doesn't just sell you a finished product, like a toaster. Instead, it provides the entire foundation. That's the hardware, the software, the whole ecosystem that lets other businesses build their products. Let me put it another way. Imagine you wanted to open a world-class bakery. A normal company would sell you an oven, but a platform company, they'd sell you the entire bakery. The oven, the secret recipes, the software to manage your orders, a connection to the best flour suppliers, literally everything you need to start baking whatever you can dream up. That's the difference. Nvidia isn't just selling the oven, they're selling the whole bakery. Nvidia's platform, this whole bakery, stands on 3 incredibly strong pillars. Let's look at them one by one. First up is software. Their platform, called CUDA, is like the universal language that lets developers talk directly to the computer chips. They were the first ones to really build this out, and now they have this huge collection of tools that make it the automatic choice for anyone serious about AI. Frankly, without this software, their powerful chips are just expensive rocks. The second pillar is hardware. They've completely moved past just selling individual chips. Now they sell complete, perfectly tuned systems, basically entire AI supercomputers that come in a box. And the third pillar is the ecosystem. By working so closely with giants like Google and Amazon, their technology has become the undeniable industry standard. You'll put these 3 things together and you don't just have a product, you have the very ground upon which the entire world of AI is now being built. You know, a really great way to think about this is to compare Nvidia to a company we all know, Apple. Apple is famous for creating a closed ecosystem, right? The iPhone, the iOS software, the App Store, it's all designed to work together perfectly, and it's all aimed directly at you, the consumer. Well, Nvidia has done the exact same thing, but their customer isn't you or me. Their customer is the builder, the developers, the scientists, the huge corporations that are actually creating the future of AI. So let me rephrase that. While Apple sells you a beautiful, finished product, Nvidia sells the ultimate toolkit and the entire workshop needed to invent the future. And believe me, in this new economy, it is way, way more powerful to own the workshop than it is to sell just one of the things made inside it. All right, so if Nvidia is building the workshop, the next logical question is, what exactly is being built inside it? And that brings us to our second big idea, the concept of the new AI factory. This is where the raw materials of our digital world are being transformed into something far, far more valuable. For decades, data centers were essentially just digital libraries. Think of them as giant, quiet, air-conditioned warehouses built for one single purpose: to store information. Your emails, your family photos, your company's records, all of it just sat there, waiting. But that whole paradigm is changing, and it's changing incredibly fast. These passive storage buildings are being completely retooled. They're becoming active, incredibly power-hungry, and unbelievably productive factories.
So what is an AI factory? It's a data center with a brand new mission. Its job isn't to just hold on to data anymore. Its job is to constantly churn through that data, to refine it, and to produce a valuable finished product, artificial intelligence. The bakery analogy from before is perfect here. An old data center was just a giant silo for storing flour. It just sat there. But an AI factory is a state-of-the-art, 24/7 bakery. The data is the flour. The absolutely immense amount of electricity needed to power the computers, that's the heat from the ovens. And what comes out at the end? The finished product, the fresh bread, which in this case is pure manufactured intelligence.
The recipe for these factories, when you break it down, is surprisingly simple. You really only have two main ingredients. The first input is data. That's the raw material, and we're talking trillions upon trillions of words and images from the entire internet. The second input is a colossal amount of electricity to power the whole process. That's the energy. And the output? The single finished product that rolls off this incredible digital assembly line, it's something called a token. And I'm telling you, understanding this one little output is the absolute key to understanding this entire new economy.
Okay, this brings us right to the heart of our entire explainer. We've seen the factory, now it's time to look closely at what it makes. What exactly is this token, and why is everyone starting to call it the new currency of intelligence? This one concept is the key that unlocks everything else we're going to talk about.
So, what on earth is a token? In the simplest terms possible, a token is the smallest possible unit of work that an AI produces. For example, when an AI like ChatGPT writes a sentence for you, each word, or sometimes even just a piece of a word, is one token. When an AI creates an image, each tiny section or pixel that it decides to place is a token. It's the absolute fundamental building block of anything an AI generates. A simple way to think about it is like an atom. A single atom isn't much on its own, right? But when you combine trillions and trillions of them, you can build anything in the universe. Well, tokens are the atoms of artificial intelligence. Let's try to put this in a different way, connecting it directly to your own life. Every single time you interact with a modern AI, you are causing it to generate tokens. When you ask a chatbot a question and it gives you a paragraph back, that's hundreds of tokens being created just for you. When you ask an image generator to create a picture of an astronaut riding a horse on the moon, that could be thousands, maybe even millions of tokens. When a programmer asks an AI to write a complex piece of code, that's another continuous stream of tokens. It is the real, quantifiable measure of AI production. And here's where it gets really interesting. If tokens are a product, then they must have a price. And this isn't some abstract theoretical idea. This is a real, live, functioning market right now. Just look at this table. It shows this new token economy in action. The basic level of intelligence, say from a free chatbot, costs you nothing. But for the smarter, more capable AI models, companies are paying anywhere from $3 to $6 for every 1 million tokens that are generated. Now, look at that premium tier. For the most powerful, specialized models used by big businesses, that price skyrockets to $150 for that same million tokens. This is the big takeaway here. For the first time in history, we have successfully put a clear, market-driven price tag on intelligence itself.
So let's say you're the manager of one of these brand new AI factories. How do you know if you're doing a good job? I mean, in a traditional car factory, you'd measure your performance by how many cars you produce per hour. But how in the world do you measure the efficiency of a factory that produces intelligence?
The answer is a beautifully simple and powerful new metric: tokens per watt. This right here is the new gold standard for efficiency in the age of AI. It's so simple. Electricity is your cost. Tokens are your revenue. The entire global race between companies, between countries, now comes down to one single question: who can generate the most intelligence, the most tokens for every single watt of power they consume? The company, or even the country, that truly masters this ratio will dominate the future. It's the new calculus of power.
Now, you might be wondering, okay, this is all fascinating, but why is this all happening right now? What's the big rush? The reason is something industry insiders call the inference inflection point. You see, for the last several years, AI has been in stage 1 training. This was like sending the AI to school. We fed it basically the entire internet, and it spent years and years just learning. For the biggest models out there, that school phase is now pretty much over. We are now entering stage 2 inference. This is when the AI graduates and gets a job. job. It's no longer just studying, it's out in the world doing things. It's answering your customer service questions, generating that marketing image, writing that software code. And every single one of those actions consumes tokens, creating a constant, unending, and exponentially growing demand for intelligence.
So, we've established the platform, we've walked through the factory, and we've examined the product. Now it's time to zoom out and look at the breathtaking scale of this new economy and begin to understand why this is quickly becoming a matter of national importance.
This enormous new supply of token-based intelligence is being put to work along two main pathways. The first path is what we call AI agents. These are AIs that are pure software. They live in the digital world and can act on their own to get things done. Think about an AI that can manage your entire email inbox, schedule all your meetings, and analyze sales data to create reports, all without you lifting a finger. The second path is physical AI, which is really just a fancy term for robotics. This is where that same intelligence is used to control physical machines in the real world, everything from warehouse robots to self-driving cars. So you see, one path is changing the world of information, and the other is about to change the world of physical objects. The implications of this are absolutely profound, and they stretch way beyond just corporate profits. A nation's ability to generate its own intelligence is quickly becoming a core part of its national infrastructure. Back in the 20th century, a country's power was built on having a strong energy grid and a solid telecommunications network. Well, in the 21st century, a new pillar is being added: sovereign AI infrastructure. That means a nation's independent ability to run its own AI factories. The power to generate intelligence at a massive scale is quite simply the new definition of national power. The sheer scale of this new economy is just staggering. We're not talking about some niche tech market here. This is a brand new industrial revolution, and its value is projected to be over $1 trillion. That number, $1 trillion, is exactly why nations and giant corporations are in such a frantic race to build more and more AI factory capacity. They are all desperately competing for a slice of that $1 trillion market for tokens, and for the immense strategic advantage that comes with being a primary producer of intelligence. Okay, so we've covered some huge, world-changing ideas: a new kind of company, a new kind of factory, a new kind of currency. But what does all of this abstract talk actually mean for you, for an individual person just trying to make sense of this new landscape? Let's bring it all home and make it practical. Let's slowly recap the absolute key takeaways from all of this. Number one, remember that Nvidia is much more than just a chip company. It is the architect building the very foundation for a new economy. Two, data centers are no longer just for storage. They have become AI factories that actively produce intelligence. Three, the product that these factories make is intelligence, and it is measured and sold as tokens, a new kind of digital commodity. Four, the demand for these tokens is absolutely exploding right now as AI transitions from a learning phase to a doing phase. And finally, number five, this entire shift doesn't just impact businesses. It is fundamentally changing the strategic power of entire nations. We want to leave you with one final thought to ponder. For all of human history, the creation of valuable things has been limited by two things: physical materials and human labor. But we are now entering a new age, an age where a new raw material, intelligence itself, is becoming abundant and cheap. A new currency is being minted every single second inside factories made of silicon and light. So the question we all need to start asking ourselves is this: if intelligence truly becomes a currency, what will you create with it?
If you enjoy this video, please like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell to the latest update from my channel. Thank you for watching till the end, and see you in the next video.